Howdy, folks. Effing Controller here, and if you would allow me for a moment to dispense with all of that tawdry torpedo talk I'm famous for, I'd like to take a little bit to chat with you about something that's really important to me, and indeed someone who's really important to me. And that person is the gentleman that you see on your screen in front of you. His name is Larry, and he's my father. Back in October of 2008, my father was diagnosed with a form of brain tumor called Glioblastoma multiforme, and these are very aggressive tumors that are very difficult to treat. About 90% of people diagnosed with glioblastoma multiforme die within 3 years of their diagnosis. And in my dad's case, he was going through a lot of other health issues that were pretty difficult. And as a result of his diagnosis with this tumor, knowing that he could treat it as much as he wanted, but it would ultimately still be fatal, he decided to just forego his treatment altogether and just pass away on his own terms. And as a result, I lost him on December 17th of 2008, just 2 months after his diagnosis. The days that my family and I spent caring for him, which are right around this time of year actually, I consider them probably they're going to be among the most important and difficult that I will have faced in my life. And this is the time of year when I really think about it quite a bit, and I still feel like I'm learning from it. But I've also been able to remind myself a bit more lately that that experience, caring for him at the end of his life, doesn't ultimately reflect the totality of my life with him. Rather than just mourning his loss and thinking about all of the awful things we had to go through as he was dying, I find myself just missing him for the man that he was. And that's as it should be, I feel. I feel like I've moved on from just thinking about the hard details of caring for him and thinking more about who he was. Like, just at this past Thanksgiving, for instance, I thought about how we would spend time just talking before dinner about bits of historical trivia or something. I don't know, maybe some piece of genealogical information that he dredged up. He was a really avid genealogist, and he just really liked knowledge. He really liked sharing knowledge and learning from people and arguing with people, not gonna lie. But I miss all of that about him. I miss him in a lot of different ways. I think about him every day. Whether it's just because I'm in a place that reminds me of him in some way, or because I want to know what he thinks about something I'm about to do, or just because I just miss him. There's just some moments that it kind of surprises me that I'll think of him and miss him, and it doesn't make sense, but it happens. He passed away a lot sooner than any of us were really ready for. I don't try to think of this experience in terms of being fair or unfair, because I've kind of concluded that if you think about things in that way a lot, you're going to either end up disappointed or feeling really entitled. So I try not to look at things in that way. But when I do seriously consider the cause of his death, and when I consider that there's just not much known as far as what risk factors there are, what we could have done beforehand to prevent this, it just is something that we couldn't have done anything about, really. And that is, fair or unfair, that's deeply frustrating. And what makes it even worse is that I know that there are thousands of people, thousands of families, really, that are a lot like mine, that have to face this down and realize that there's just not much they can do. And I think that that's pretty terrible. And I don't want that anymore for people. While I was caring for my dad, I made him some promises. And one of those was that I would try to do something good with my life, that I would try to do some good in the world, which, can take a lot of different shapes. I feel like I've done that in avenues other than this channel, but I feel like I'm doing some good with this. I'm not deluding myself into thinking that my videos are, saving the world. I don't think that I'm saving the world one dick joke at a time, but we have a pretty good time on here, and I'd like to think that I make people's days a little bit brighter. But last year, we had the idea that we could actually do a little bit more, I guess. So I last year decided to celebrate my father's birthday by doing a charity stream that supported the National Brain Tumor Society to help them fund research into treating and hopefully one day eliminating these brain tumors. And that work is easily the best that has come of this channel. We raised just shy of $1,400 to support brain tumor research, and I'm just proud as heck of what we came together to do. And I think it's high time that we got back to work again to commemorate my father, to fight this disease, and to just have a hell of a lot of fun. So on December 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific, I'll be running my second annual charity stream in support of the National Brain Tumor Society. And I would really like to do a 24-hour stream, but the years that I worked on Graveyard Shift have just kind of shattered my circadian clock. And I just love sleeping. It's the best. It's some kind of cozy, buttery narcotic that I can't get enough of. I don't know if you can overdose on it. I might. Well, anyways, the point here is that rather than saying I'm going to go for 24 hours, I'm just going to say 12 hours plus. And, just see how I feel after 12 hours of streaming with you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to go for quite a bit longer than that. But I'm going to be doing this on my twitch.tv channel as opposed to my Hitbox channel like I did last year. Mostly because I'm thinking that I'll have a little bit of a wider audience on Twitch, so I'm hoping that more people will come out and support and at least watch and possibly donate. So that would be ideal. One thing that I'm going to be doing differently this year is trying to get you guys in on this a little bit more. Last year, it was mostly just me playing single-player games. I had Lethal Feline commentating with me and helping me out quite a bit. And I've been thinking a lot about how I would do things differently this year. And the big thing I want is a little bit more interaction with you guys. So I'm going to be playing a lot more multiplayer games with you all, with voice chat facilitated through my Discord server. And as far as the games, well, I'm thinking about playing some multiplayer Silent Hunter 3, Rise of Flight, Myth 2, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, the Jackbox Party Packs, I've got both of them, World of Warships, Unreal Tournament, Endless Legend, Plague Inc., DEF CON, Rocket League, even though during yesterday's stream some people really hated it, and I'm also even, brace yourselves, thinking about playing Minecraft. Now, calm down. It's not an everyday kind of a thing. I'm just thinking of doing it for the stream. I'm thinking about getting a server running so that we can build castles made out of wool or whatever and make pixel art of, I don't know, Shia LaBeouf. I have no idea. I have no idea what you people do with that game, but that's what I do. No, I don't. I make pixel art of Bruce Valanche. Thank you very much. But if you have any other games to recommend, feel free to comment below by all means. But I do strongly recommend loading up some of those games I listed so that we can hang out and raise some money for an extremely worthy cause. My goal for this year is to reach 1,500. Since we got very, very close to 1,400 last year, I'd like to just set that as a goal. If we don't reach it, that's fine. I just want to hang out and raise whatever money I can for this. Bearing in mind, of course, that donations are optional, but they are enormously appreciated, especially considering that I know a lot of you are already helping out charitable organizations during this time of year, so I'm just all the more grateful for your support in that case. So I will be putting a link in the description below for the donation page, along with a list of the games that I'm thinking about playing. They're not all guaranteed to make an appearance, but I'm going to try my best. And I've also got a countdown timer to let you guys know when we're starting. So again, that's going to be on Friday, December 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there.